Hello, everybody. This is the introduction to media planning and buying. As I earlier indicated, my name is Derek Onoma. Now, what we are going to start with is we're going to start with the definition of media planning and buying, and then we would look at certain advantages or certain skills and career opportunities that are there for media planners and buyers. But before we go on, I'd like you to know that the term media planner or media buyer, depending on where you find yourself, it could be a little confusing. Um, Media planning is a skill in itself, or it's a field in itself, and then media buying is also a field in itself. Nevertheless, you often see it being merged. So when they talk about media planning, sometimes media buying is included. But strictly, media planning has its role or its duties, and then media buying is also something different, but they work hand in hand. But for the purposes of this lecture or this class, when we say media planning, we are referring to media planning and buying. So that is just by the way. Now let's get started. Now, so when we say media planning, what do we mean by media planning? As you can see over here, media planning is the art. Forgive me for that. Media planning is the art of choosing and strategizing the best mixture of media in order to maximize returns to advertisers and or their clients. So as a media planner, what you're doing is you are selecting the various media platforms existing, and you are selecting based on your research, based on your knowledge of the media platforms. You are selecting the ones that best fit the purpose of the client in order to be able to achieve the target. So there are many things that you consider, which of course we'll be looking at in the class, but certain things like even the nature of the brand. The brand can even determine which platform you would want the ads to run on. Because a certain brand, you decide for your brand, we can't use this platform for this reason or the other. So all those are taken into consideration. And as a media planner, you are to select, choose, strategize which is the best mixture of media. Now the keyword here is mixture of media. So we are drawing your mind to the fact that it is not just one media channel like just television or radio, but all available media platforms. You are mixing them up. You are selecting this at this time, this at that time, this here, this for this period, this for that period, because of this and because of that. The second part of the definition indicates that it is in order to maximize returns to advertisers and all their clients. Now, of course, they say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, so the reason we go about planning is because we want to bring out the best. So if the client has X budget, you want to make sure that by the time the advertisements have run their course, they have gotten the best value for their money in terms of effectiveness of the media platforms that you choose. Now we come to media buying. Now, media buying is a paid marketing activity that seeks to isolate and acquire advertising space on channels that are appropriate to the target audience at the best time for the least amount of money. So you see, the fourth line says that channels that are appropriate to the target audience. So this again brings in media planning. So it is the media planner who generally even selects the channels that are appropriate, and then the media buyer goes to negotiate. So the media buyer, you go to the seller, whether it's a TV station, radio station, online platform, wherever, and then you will negotiate the price, the spaces, the times. So that's what a media buyer does. And as I earlier indicated, depending on where you find yourself in, the media buyer's role will be separate from the media planner, or it could be one. Right. Now, let us look at what is expected from or what you're expecting to see in the job market for those who are not in the job market yet, and for those who are already in it but still want to have an idea of what it is that is expected of you. As a media planner, the skills that you need, one of them is social skills, because as we just indicated, if you're into buying media spaces, you need to interact, you need to negotiate. So of course you need social skills, communication skills, you would need negotiation skills, you would need to be a good planner, you need to be a good planner, you would need to be good in research, because for you to be able to advise, you would need to know, or you would need to have data on why X platform is better than Y platform, or why X platform is best at this time of the day, or at this time of the year, or within the season, or that season. And that is only gotten through research. So you need to be good at research. Of course, you would also need to know much about online media. That's because today we no more only focus on traditional media, which is the TV, radios, but of course we are inculcating online, social media, and then the internet in itself, in its totality. So you need to have skill in browsing and knowing where to go, knowledge in which social media platforms exist and how best they work. So you will need those skills, and it goes without saying that you also need computer skills. With the career opportunities, it is a career in itself, which is media planning and buying. In other jurisdictions, they call it integrated communication specialist. Integrated communication specialist, because you are integrating different media platforms and you are a specialist in how we are communicating via these media platforms. So sometimes they call it that. You can also be a media research analyst. Again, because I earlier mentioned that one of the skills you would need is research. So you can function as a media research analyst, where you solely conduct research for organizations, what this media platform is about, what is happening here, what your competitors are doing. So people can employ you to conduct research into these areas just for them, and then they will take their decisions. When it comes to salary, or what you could be getting, depending on which part of the world you are. Let's say if you're in somewhere in West Africa, you could you could charge around $300 to $600 per any media plan you put together for an organization. And it also depends on how long the plan is for. Somebody may need a plan for like about 3 months, so between $300 and $600, that's fine. Some may need for a whole year, so you might have to do your recalibration and then see how you're going to charge them. If you find yourself in North America, where people often charge by the hour, and I think on the average it's about $20 an hour. It's about $20 an hour. Some parts of Africa, they often do the whole package thing, and then you bill, and then of course in other parts of the world too, it's per hour. So depending on where you find yourself, that could work for you. Now, when needed, when are media planners needed, or media buyers needed? Media planners are needed. Advertising is a process. Now, after the creative team have come up with their concept, after they have finished with their design and everything, and they are ready to send the message out to people, that is when the media planner is needed, because now we are ready to go to the media, we're ready to go to our target audience. So the media planner comes in and says, based on your target audience, these are the platforms that are good for you. Based on these are the platforms that are good for you. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask, and then if you don't have any question, we can move on to the next section.